Good morning, good afternoon, good evening around the world. My name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder and CEO of Global Chamber. The most pleasurable event for me at Global Chamber, the one that I learn the most, the one that I get most inspired by, is Women in Global Leadership, the 10th annual event. We've been around for 11 years. The 10th annual event will happen in August for the Phoenix chapter. And I've been encouraging for the last 6 months all of the chapters of Global Chamber to have their own Women in Global Leadership. The general format are three women, one man, one extraordinary man, typically someone who, thank you. Yeah, it can be rare, or I'm not sure why you're
I-
laughing. but 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 it typically and we encourage it to be some man who cares and is supportive, because at the end of the day, what we are about is working together, the diversity of thought and effort by leaders of all genders from every country, every religion, every skin color. All are welcome, and it takes a village for progress to be made, certainly optimum progress. And so today's event is a little bit different. It's virtual, so that's one change from the normal Women in Global Leadership. And also, we don't have an extraordinary man here. We have all women. We have all women, and it's less of a panel discussion. It's more of a conversation from each leader saying, here's what I'm seeing around the world. Here are my perspectives. Hopefully, along the way, they'll be weaving in from a woman's perspective on both the challenges and opportunities. I didn't specify it on purpose, just so that I wouldn't uh, influence what the leaders would be saying specifically. So I just really want to hear their perspectives. One of the things I think we see very often in global business is a bunch of men on a panel. And I'm very sensitive to that. And the reason is about 8 years ago, very early in Global Chamber, we did a panel. It happened to be on nonprofits, which was, it's really weird that this would happen. But there were 8 men on the panel, all 8 men. And I didn't realize it until the meeting is about to start. And it's like, what? How did we do that? How could we possibly do that? So from that moment on, I'm cognizant of every panel, not only at Global Chamber, but everything I see online. Is it all men? And what are we thinking? What are we doing? And this one is all women. And so it has the opposite problem. If that's a problem, I think it's an opportunity because certainly in global trade, women don't get the voice that they should. And one of the most dramatic experiences for me is I love Japan and I speak Japanese, and I was speaking with an older organization, a business organization in Japan, my last visit, and it was dominated by men. It was all men, and there was no real thought process around really caring that that was a concern. It was like, this is okay. Well, it's not okay, not at Global Chamber. And so today, all of that is not going to be an issue because we're going to be hearing some from extraordinary women. So that's maybe too much introduction, but at least I want all of you to know that we're going to have some fun here. So we've got about 52 minutes and we have 9 speakers. And that also means we'll also probably have some other people kind of interjecting. So 10 to 12 or so that'll be able to comment. I encourage you as someone who is not necessarily one of the speakers to listen, to use the chat area, to introduce yourself. Uh, Raising your hand is okay, and we may be able to get to you depending on how the time frame goes. But we do want to finish up at the top of the hour. Often we finish up 5 minutes early. Today we'll probably finish right at the top of the hour. I'm really proud and very much encouraged by the amazing Yuka Nakasone in all that she does. She is the founder of Global Bridges. She's also the Global Chamber Executive Director for 4 chapters in Spain, including her home city of Barcelona. She's involved with all sorts of initiatives from AI technology. She's perhaps the world's most preeminent localization, globalization expert. And so, Yuka, always love to hear your perspectives. What's going on in the world from your perspective? What would you like to?
Thank you. Thank you very, very much for your kind words. Um, Contrary to your comments, in Japan, something is happening, as you noticed. We have the first prime minister who is a woman, and finance minister is also a woman. And they are very clear about what they want, and they're taking actions. So that's what's happening on my end. I mean, I am Japanese in a foreign country, expat, but I still hold my Japanese passport. If you ask me what my nationality is, I certainly answer you, I am Japanese, expat in Spain, but I'm Japanese. And I'm very proud of what's happening in Japan. And of course, when you have clear idea, opinions, if you're opinionated, there are many opinions around us, including me. So that's what we have. And talking to some women around me in Barcelona, I realized that what you said was true, Doug, that we should have more, let's say words in what's happening in business. And many women around here in Barcelona, in Catalonia, in Spain, I see top of the top, cream of the cream, kind of engineers, businesswomen. Everybody is feeling we would be more successful if we were men. So maybe that's an excuse. I don't know, but that's what we are kind of feeling. But having the participation, clearly we're going to turn this around. So something interesting is happening. That's my words. Thank you very much, Zach, for the invitation.
Thank you very much. And I think one of the things that you bring up, maybe indirectly, is the amount of funding that women-owned businesses get. And typically, from at a VC level, I've seen numbers like 2%, 3%, certainly less than 5%. So that's a U.S. number. I don't know what that is globally. I would guess in Japan it's probably even less than that. And so that is when you talk about, is it an advantage or disadvantage to be a woman and running a business? Certainly from a funding perspective, it seems to be harder to get funding, and that's a key aspect of any business. So thank you for sharing that, Yuka, very, very much. And also that there's progress, and certainly having the prime minister be a woman, it helps a lot. When the ambassador for Japan, I think his name was Fujisawa, Ambassador Fujisawa. I think Fujisawa. Fujisawa is the city west of Tokyo, so I think it may be something else. But he had a program to encourage women to enter the workforce. And there was an initiative, this was like 10, 12 years ago by Japan, to get more women in the workforce. And it almost seemed like it was, well, these factories owned by men need workers. And so instead of bringing in foreigners, let's bring in women, Japanese. That's how I felt the initiative was. But that was 10 years ago. it's a lifetime change. And so I agree with you. There's certainly a lot of changes going on right now, and women having a more of a say, more is required. So let's go to our next speaker. And Ann Tamil is a founder and CEO of the OC CEO Collective. OC, for those of you who are not aware, is Orange County. It's the county that's south of Los Angeles, between Los Angeles and San Diego. She's also a leader with the Southern California Women in Business Group, SoCal Women in Business. She runs programs and encourages leaders that are women in Southern California to be better. And so I don't think, Anne, we have the same issues culturally in the United States as Japan historically does, certainly recently. But there are many issues still in the US and even in California. Could you please share your thoughts about not only your perspectives of women in leadership, but also any business opportunities that we should be knowing about?
To take a moment to truly thank you from my heart for bringing us all together. This dialogue is so critical, and what I've done, I've set out to redefine leadership starting in Orange County. I'm originally from the Silicon Valley. I grew up in San Jose, which was one of the most culturally integrated cities in the world. And that culture where everyone was honoring differences and creating cultures of listening and learning, that's where we really learned how to come together. That became the Silicon Valley. So from a leadership perspective, I've set out to bring that to Orange County, which was once very much on its own. And what we're learning here in Orange County, even leadership, recently at the World Affairs Council, it was identified that Orange County is being considered a hidden gateway to the United States for global trade. And it's really a fascinating place. It's a fascinating time in history. Orange County has a $250 billion economy. We've got 3.2 billion people, 61,000 life science workers in Orange County. So we've got major medical device, equipment companies. We're the neurovascular center of the world. So we've got a global headquarters for innovation right here. And in the heart of Orange County in Irvine, Dave Cafaro, I believe he leads the Irvine Chamber. He's really working to make Irvine a center of innovation. So we're all working together. We're coming together here, which I think is beautiful because that's not typical of Orange County, at least when I came here. And so I've led this movement, really, I started in 2024 to unite and empower women in business and build what we had in the Silicon Valley. And we grew that so quickly. In a couple of months, we went from 42 to over 200 women at UCI's Cove, dancing together from all different, exactly what I was describing, women from different cultures, different age groups, different industries, different stages of their career, all coming together. And this, it caught on like wildfire. And this year we're coming together at the UCI Paul Mirage School that fits over 300 people. So we're bringing together women and also men. And now the vision is to unite and empower women worldwide. And I've also brought together women. I'm launching a book this month in honor of Women's History Month, Women of Worth Global. And it's all of these global perspectives from women who are already leading this movement to come together and unite in a different way and build better cultures. And the larger collection, it's funny that Doug said, these panels were all men. I started out writing a book called Poets and Dreamers, Thought Leaders and Visionaries. And most of the people I was interviewing were men, only because men come forward so much more readily and they're more confident. And I said, okay, where are the women? I need the women's voices here. And it's funny that I made it a personal mission to bring women leadership together and have these voices. And so I was able to create a book out of that, which I think is really beautiful. So we've got so much going on here, and it's April 16th. The theater we're able to expand on a global level. So if we can invite you all to join in and invite your networks. I mean, this is something starting in Orange County, redefining leadership, but it's really a global movement that starts here. And I think that's really beautiful to create a little Silicon Valley out of Orange County, which was once very closed off and has been identified as a hidden gateway to the US for global trade, and to really bring this movement on a worldwide level. So I hope that answers your question, Doug.
Perfectly. Thank you for your leadership, and we'll be announcing Anne's greater involvement with Global Chamber going forward. Thank you for. It was great to meet you. I think the first time in January at the Global Chamber Los Angeles event, and then to take things to the next level. Our next speaker is Angelica Herrera Munoz, and she is an incredible trade and business leader from Colombia. She is everywhere. If you follow her on LinkedIn, I think she's got over 30,000 followers. She's traveling to trade shows around the world. She's involved with the regional trade in Colombia. She's also the executive director for Global Chamber Bogota and for Colombia. Angelica, you are a force of nature. What's your perspective of what's going on, and what should we know? What would you like to share?
Hello, good morning for everyone. My name is Angelica, said as a doc. Sorry for my English is in progress now. But in Colombia, the women in the foreign trade and international business is so complicated because the positions for leadership not yet now. In this moment, some dates, for example, let me check. Sure. Okay. For example, only 30% the different positions in the biggest companies are occupied for women. This date is good, but not is now the best conditions in this moment in Colombia, but it's similar in around the world. But my participation is focused in some opportunities because I love it, watch the opportunities around the world. For this reason, I like share some opportunities for you know Colombia. I invite to visit Colombia, and in this moment, the opportunities, please stay note. The focus is in the agribusiness and, for example, coffee, cocoa, avocados, exotic fruits is a necessary inversion in Colombia in these sectors. In the tourism and experiential travel, to have different opportunities for companies, for entities, for different entities, the government or private sectors, about in technology and knowledge-based service. Colombia is emerging as hub for software development, fintech, digital service, and business process, for example, BPO. And the another sector is the energy. For example, if you have solutions for hydrogen energy or similar, in Colombia, different entities, we find the solutions for the problem about the energy. And for example, in the another opportunity is manufacturing and nearshoring. In this moment, Colombia have different incentives for investors and investment in Colombia. Our currency is good now because the economic situation is good in this moment. And the another sector for with opportunity is digital commerce and service. All e-commerce digital platforms is necessary expand in this moment For this reason, we need a logistics service, marketing service, online retail solution for online retail, and financial service. In summary, Colombia present different opportunities. Today are concentrated in agribusiness export, tourism, technology service, renewable energy, and manufacturing linked to nearshoring. Sectors that combine natural advantage with growing international demand. Thank you for your attention, and welcome to Colombia always. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, thank you. Anita's been to Colombia, and maybe some of the rest of you have as well. It's a beautiful country, and thank you, Angelica. Let's now go to our next speaker. Mijong Hibbets is the founder of Robert and William, and she's also the Global Chamber Baltimore, Washington executive director. She's originally from Korea. Now she's been in Maryland, and her connections to Korea and Busan, Korea in particular, have connected her to a variety of opportunities between the US and South Korea. But she's a global person. She's been an exporter herself. She knows the world well. And so, Mijong, we look forward to hearing your perspectives today on what opportunities and challenges that you see. Welcome.
Thank you, Doug. Can you hear me okay?
We can, very well.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, first of all, for inviting me to this wonderful gathering of global leaders at one site. And happy International Women's Day to all of you, including men who are attending this program today. So, as Doug mentioned, well, I mean, Busan is Doug, where I was born, but I really didn't spend much of a time there. Most of my time I spent in Seoul area, but it's a small country and very connected. So Busan is, as you said, yeah, I'm very connected to Busan as well. So what I do at my international trade consulting, Robert and William, is actually providing much more market entry service and advisory and consulting beyond just the simple trade. Because of my background, I work a lot with Korean companies, with technology, different type of technology, and also work here with subject matter technical expert. We find a great team to support any companies with some proven and validation market fit for the United States. Then we provide a roadmap and then go to market strategy, and also provide the hands to really implement a go-to-market strategy for the companies. Recently, we conducted a really comprehensive go-to-market strategy for a company in bio sector, more in medical tech area. And with that go-to-market strategy, company is opening its U.S. office actually in Texas. I hope it was in Maryland, but it is in Texas. So the ones that I wanted to talk, just in addition to women leadership, I also wanted to talk about this environment because we need to know the opportunities and challenges in this international trade environment, right? And particularly for Korea, I guess for the rest of the world, there's tariff issues as well as a lot of volatility related to recent war in Iran, directly that related with the oil price, and then that pressures on, the production margins and things like that in South Korea. That's what I hear a lot of concern. And recently in January, there are tariff level, U.S. tariff on South Korea has increased from 15% to 25%, and that directly affecting on autos and other, the manufacturing sectors, which is a very significant economy for South Korea. I do see still a lot of companies are have a really great, the appetite to come to United States because it is a big market and consumer market, and with this a lot of volatilities in tariff and the other geopolitical situation, they feel being in the United States and contributing some sort of economic development here, it actually serves them better. So there's a big appetite, but honestly speaking, it is not true to just say everything is optimistic, right? So I hear from the companies who are planning to enter US more watch and see, and expressing a lot of concerns as well. And there is a dynamics also, like currency exchange rates as to US dollar from South Korea, the currency, so that affects a lot on their the decision as well. So it affects, one way or another, my business as well. But I am looking forward to something's more, predictable and how to say, stabilize, the environment where, the all businesses can have some sort of the planning really, to go forward. I think that is a very important part that all businesses are, care about, especially in international businesses with this type of global level of volatility. Sometimes people feel very it's above their, what they can do, just, the wait and see. But so therefore, need more, advisory and counsels are needed in that sense. Women leadership, I agree. I love to see more women in, really decision making, the positions and then things like that. But really, I do not want to see women just from a diversity perspective. We do have to have a quota, for the woman. I do want the woman to be really the valued based on the value that they are bringing on. And in our circle and global chamber, here, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Northern Virginia area, I see amazing leaders here, either at, startups or nonprofit or, the government. So we do need to really recognize, that their value, real value, business values, or their acumen, to the organizations or where they are serving. So I do hope that, that we do all see that. And at this International Women's Day, I really wanted to congrats, and then just we keep on moving and keep on going. So and then also lift up each other.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Mijun.
Doug.
Great comments. Really appreciate you very much. Let's now go to Labiba Zaiman. She's a lawyer at Amir Amir, and she's also on the advisory board for Global Chamber Dhaka in Bangladesh. And so Labiba wanted to go first because she felt like she was probably going to be the youngest person and with the least experience, and then have everybody else follow her and build on her perspectives. And being a younger person with different perspectives from a different country is all good. That's so I've inserted her right in the middle of all of you, because her voice is just as important as the rest of you. So Labiba, thank you so much for sharing today. We look forward to learning from you. Labiba, you're muted. Let's see.
Oh,
I see
sorry.
you.
I'm
There you
sorry. Good
are. Oh,
afternoon. Um, Welcome to our seminar. It's a real pleasure to be here, connected with such inspiring group of women leaders. I actually wanted to go first because your dog is right. I am the least experienced person here, and I wanted to go first because I wanted to learn more from you because my speech is very, very small. By background, I'm a lawyer. I have a master's degree in international trade law from UK. My line of work is mainly it's the intersection of law and cross-border business. I work with companies that want to enter and expand in Bangladesh, helping with the incorporation, drafting the legal documents, and making sure their operations comply with local law in Bangladesh and the regular requirements. So as we progress, the digital technology has made global collaborations much easier. And I'm also seeing more international clients exploring opportunities in this region. Many businesses today can operate, globally and internationally through online. And from a legal and trade perspective, one of the biggest shifts I've seen is are becoming more businesses are increasingly looking beyond their own borders and creates more opportunities and responsibilities. In South Asia, especially Bangladesh, the opening up with more opportunities and more local international combination and sustainability and manufacturing and export-oriented enterprises are increasing. For women today, especially in Asia, like in Bangladesh, it becomes a bit of challenge because we still struggle finding financing and professional networks, mentorship, and of course there is this stigma of women working, and we have to balance both professional and societal balance. So that becomes a challenge, but we are progressing hopefully to a new direction. And I find encouraging is that women are finding ways to navigate these barriers and seeing stronger networks and more collaborations across borders. For me personally, I have worked with a lot of strong women who want to do business in Bangladesh and a lot of Bangladeshi women who want to do business internationally. So I help them get the trade license and also, in corporate companies, I work with international lawyers, help them communicate better who have English problems or have communication problems. So in my own work, I try to support that progress and by helping business understand the legal frameworks that make international expansion possible. Law in many ways acts as a bridge and allows businesses to operate confidently across international different jurisdictions. For me, real progress comes from basically visibility and collaborations and shared knowledge. And I'm so honored to be here with such strong women whom I'm learning from a lot. And I'm getting a lot of insights and a lot of new perspectives. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of the less of the strong women over here and the opportunities you're seeing in markets right now and the challenges you're navigating. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for listening to me. Hope you have a great day. Thank you.
thank you. Thank you, Labiba. I very much appreciate you. You reminded me of watching my daughter raise our grandson and how hard work it takes to be a mother. It's hard work to be a father, but it's at another level
So,
with mother.
Doug, I would like to share one thing since we're all women here, and I think no one will understand this more than all the beautiful strong women here. I have 1 second, sorry. Just once, I'll just take 1 second of your time.
What have you got?
So I have my daughter here, and she's been crying for me for the last 30 minutes. So she's drawing different things, and here I am working.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That was exactly my point because I was talking to a lady yesterday. They're joining Global Chamber, and she was saying, "Oh, I have a son who's 4." And then, oh, like how many children do you have? I asked. 5 children, 5 boys. She runs the business development for this company and she's getting a PhD. And then it's like I stopped at that point. It's like, oh my God. It's sort of like the Ginger Rogers thing, dancing like Fred Astaire, but backwards in high heels. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
bringing
your time. Thank you, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you for bringing up that very important point. Sharon Matike is also an extraordinary a woman and leader. She's an entrepreneur. She's on the Global Chamber Advisory Board in Accra, and she has very strong connectivity to Cameroon as well. Sharon, thank you for your leadership. What would you like to share today?
Yes, thank you, everyone. I'm Sharon, and happy to be here. Thank you so much, Doug, for this opportunity. I think when you get to hear a lot of people speaking before you, you have 2 options. Either you have so much to say or you have little to say. I think I have so much to say, but it will be done in 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Okay, so from my perspective, Doug, your question was so broad, and one would wonder where to start from. But I work as an Africa market entry professional. Basically, I run a business called Afrique Monitor, which has access into 35 plus African markets. We help with trade development into sub-Saharan Africa. So my ideal clients are usually people who have little or some knowledge of African terrains and are looking to expand their businesses. They are looking for new emerging markets to enter. So I do all that. I assist them and everything. And so I'm very much, I'm an entrepreneur. So again, that means that I have started and run a series of businesses and I'm always creating things. Okay. So first of all, what I see from where I sit, what's happening globally. Now, I think a lot is happening globally. It's been a couple of ups and downs geopolitically. I mean, there's always something happening. I mean, from if I can, from COVID and then right through, say, January 2024, with US administration changes and all that. A lot has happened globally up till February 2026. So we currently have Iran war uh, and all that happening now. In Sub-Saharan Africa, almost everything affects us in sub-Saharan Africa. So, I mean, if we have barriers to immigration barriers, it affects us. It affects trade. If we have Iran war, it affects us in different ways. Maybe more significantly because for us, Africa is quite an import-dependent economy. And where we are for now is that we sort of hold the tails of other geopolitical players. So the thing is, the impact, I remember once saying on this platform that when the elephants fight, it's the grass that suffers. So at the end of the day, a lot of the problems we are seeing globally affect Africa. Um, and I think problems are usually opportunities. Okay, so there are a lot of opportunities currently in sub-Saharan Africa. This continent is actually the frontier that cannot easily be ignored, and no one should ignore because there are enough opportunities to leverage on this continent. We are the fastest growing young population. We have a 1.54 billion human capital market. So there are 1.5 billion, 1.54 billion humans across the 52 states of sub-Saharan Africa. We have a growing middle class in sub-Saharan Africa. We are an import-dependent economy, which means that the opportunity here is that many African countries are looking at industrializing, they're looking at manufacturing, they're looking at improving their balance of trade in trade and commerce. So there are a number of opportunities for processing instead of exporting only raw materials. Now, if I say importing, I mean almost 70% plus of everything an African uses or needs is imported. So that tells you that we are very far from actually having the even trade balance. So the opportunity here is that there's a lot of manufacturing. There are some countries that have taken certain initiatives like Ghana, which is the chamber I represent. So Ghana, for example, has in their previous administration instituted the One District, One Factory initiative. Other markets like Rwanda are moving in on this industrialization and manufacturing thing. And then there are a lot of other opportunities. For example, in Sub-Saharan Africa, there's a big financing gap, and I'm happy financing came into the conversation earlier. So financing for generally for entrepreneurs, and then women entrepreneurial financing is also another whole subject. But there's a lot of very low financial education in Sub-Saharan Africa. There's very low access to financial instruments, access to banking, access to financial inclusion is very low. So this also is a problem, but it is a very good opportunity. So as a business, what did we do this year? I personally started an investment club to do that. Another thing we did as a business was that we created a project called the Africa Stars Push Project. So the Africa Stars Push Project is actually to improve access to financing for Africa's entrepreneurs. We are in the startup stages of that project, but as time goes on, we will specialize into financing for women and entrepreneurs as part of the project. But the project is generally to give access to African entrepreneurs, financing opportunities to African entrepreneurs, to give them the mentorship and support they need to grow their businesses. Because I put up a LinkedIn post in February, I think early February, and it was just a thought. My thought was, why is Africa not having S&P 500s? You know, where are Africa's S&P 500s? Because most businesses in Africa are small businesses. They are small and medium scale businesses, and they are subsistence businesses. So what is the reason why we do not have global conglomerates and they are accountable? So these are some of the sentiments and reasons why I created the Africa Stars Push Project, which the company is fully backing. From a woman's month perspective, like as women, where have we gotten to now? You know, I think
Sharon,
that, yeah.
Sharon, could you wrap up, please?
Yes, please. Yes. So from our perspective, I think when it comes to access for women and equality, we are still a very long way off. Some markets have improved, others are still behind. But until we are able to not have news, for example, if we have a female president, it's not news. Okay. If we have a female leader on a board, it's not news. Until we get to that point, then we have not advanced. So that is what I think when it comes to women in leadership. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Great perspectives, and thank you for tying in the companies and the government differences. That was very important. Let's now go to our next speaker, and it's Anita Rodal, another extraordinary leader based in Southern California. She's the founder and CEO of SPDI Services, and she's also on the advisory board for Global Chamber Los Angeles. She leads the Export-Import Forum for Global Chamber. Anita, you're involved in so many great things. You've got some great perspectives. Could you share today?
Thank you. Happy to share. Anita Rodal, president of SBPI Services, which I founded in 2006. So when Doug invited me to be one of the presenters to talk about what I see in the market, where I see opportunities, and how this ties in with International Women's Day, I actually had to do a little research because International Women's Day has never been on my radar. Just not something I even paid attention to on the calendar. So I Googled it, and I was very surprised to learn that the first International Women's Day was observed way back in 1911 in Austria, Denmark, Germany, and Switzerland to honor working women and women's suffrage. Then in 1917, Russian women went on strike in protest of World War I, but it took the UN another 60 years as it spread around the world to actually recognize and memorialize International Women's Day. So I hope you found that history as interesting as I did. Anyways, I have been very lucky that in whatever fields I've worked in, I've never felt that I've been held back because I'm a woman. So I have never thought of myself as a woman in business. I think of myself simply as a businesswoman, which to me is just neutral. I could just as easily call myself a business person. But I have been subjected to the good old boys network along the way. So that's why I have always preferred to do my own thing and be an entrepreneur. So, because my company provides a diverse range of services such as currency exchange, inventory finance for importers, working capital and equipment loans for manufacturers, I help a wide range of enterprises in the international arena. So I can't like point to one particular market and say, this is what's going on in that market. But I can give you an idea as to how things can be influenced by whatever craziness, and there's a lot of craziness going on in the world. So, for example, I represent several currency exchange companies, and it's important to understand that the foreign exchange market is very volatile. It's sensitive not only to wars and regional conflicts, of which there are plenty these days, but natural disasters, pandemics, and even things as local as the domestic labor data reports of your country. So the challenge is that our clients, which include importers, multinational companies, and real estate investors, often don't have the luxury of waiting for things to calm down before they need to make a cross-border payment. So the currency traders at the companies I represent help them implement strategies for mitigating the inevitable risk of those rate fluctuations. Even domestically in business, things can be very unpredictable. For example, here in the US, the administration out of the blue decided to deny businesses owned by visa holders and legal permanent residents access to government guaranteed small business loans, even though they pay into the system with their taxes just like citizens do. So you really never know what's going to happen on any level in the world. It can be in your own backyard. On a personal note, because I interact with so many foreign business professionals who want to reduce their accents when speaking English, I do put my undergraduate degree from UC Irvine in linguistics to good use. And I offer private pronunciation coaching classes, which is actually how I first supported myself when I moved to Venezuela after college. Only these days I do it on Zoom. So, to Doug's question about where I see opportunities for women or for anyone, my answer is everywhere, because I believe that opportunities are created. So, basically, the sky is the limit. Doesn't mean that they all work out, and it doesn't mean they work out the way you planned, but it gives you room to be creative and get things done the way you want to do it. Thank you so much for the opportunity to talk.
Amazing. Thank you for all of your initiative and your approach to life. It's inspiring. Let's now go to another inspiring woman, Demetris Evans. Watching her develop and watching her speak a year or so, plus maybe 2 years ago, and watching her on the big stage in Chicago, explaining and inspiring and motivating the community there to be more successful internationally. And then as she does it every day on LinkedIn, Demetris, it's a pleasure to know you. You have your own law firm, the Evans Law Firm, and Demetris is also the board chair for Global Chamber Chicago. Demetris, what would you like to share today?
I have a presentation. Can I share a couple of pictures?
Sure, yeah.
Okay. My world is largely in pictures. Um I do love them. But first of all, let me say I'm gonna start with this slide and then I'll say my thanks on the second one. So because it's International Women's Month, and I went right from, I like break up my year into the calendar years, the calendar months. And then for marketing purposes, I look at I want to be in line with what everybody else is doing, right? So with my community. So African History Month happened in February. So everything for me was like Africa and Africa trade and, what's happening in Zambia. And so, and I really got into it. But for Women's Month, I had to slow it down a little bit and really it's a real time of reflection for me. And so I presented on a live, I just do a live every Monday, just, to give people an idea of what kind of calls I get into the law firm. But I realized that so much of what I've taken for granted was so hard fought for in the United States. And it also helps me to realize that there are so many women around the world that do not have the privileges that I have. And that makes me want to help all women all the time. Um, but this picture, when I looked around the office, this was actually a picture that
Beatrice,
we, yes,
I'm not sure we're seeing the picture.
you're not seeing the picture?
I
Oh.
see something that says click to exit full screen.
Uh-oh. Let me try again here. Now?
That's better. Women shaping global trade.
Yes.
Okay.
With a lot of women in a picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So when I looked around the office, this is what my office looked like. And so I was thinking, wow, is this because I'm consciously searching for women to work for me? And I realized it's not. It's not necessarily how it started. I've had men that have worked for me, which I always find very interesting. And I always, ask them what's it like to have a woman as a boss? And I find what they tell me to be just fascinating. But getting back to like the hard fought for women's rights, I was looking at like access to contraceptives and ability to have, abortion if that's what you want, and equal pay. And there are all of these fights that we still have, to bring forth, but so much progress, especially in the US, has been made. And I think that we have to continue to pass it on. So I think of that as like a legacy that I have no choice but to pass it on. Right now, I see an opportunity for women who may not necessarily be starting businesses because entrepreneurship is like incredibly difficult for all the reasons that you all have talked about. But I see opportunities to be on paid boards and to be in banking, and those are the ones that I'm really pushing. So let me see. Okay. Um, this is like a picture of my staff from 2 years ago. So I want to say thank you to all of the different perspectives that I've been able to glean, Doug, not only from you because you're just amazing in your own right. Just starting the Global Chamber, I'm like that was just phenomenal idea, and so I follow everything that you do. I mean, obviously, being the chair in Chicago for the third year has been a wonderful experience. And I think that we are living in an amazing moment in history. I think that supply chains are changing, and because they are, different, I think because of some of the global trade that we have opportunities as women and men, just as people, to think more about what is needed and to start businesses if we want to do that. In technology, I see that it's accelerating. I don't necessarily see women, so involved in the manufacturing of chips and starting the plants. And I think that if we don't jump on this, that we might lose this opportunity. And so I'm working with a company right now to actually build a manufacturing chip company in the US. So I'll keep you all abreast of how that works. That's fascinating. That's AI professional services. I'm a lawyer, and I see that women in the legal profession, we have just pretty much taken over. I think it's more women in the legal profession now in the US than men. Judges and politicians, I think year, this last go around for the presidential campaign. I think we were very close. I think Kamala Harris in running for president, I think it was, it was phenomenal. It's not the first time that a woman has run for president, but I think she was really close. And I think we could actually see it this time. I'm in Chicago, so we have all kinds of opportunities in rail and air cargo, agricultural and manufacturing, and I don't see that there are hindrances for women in those areas. There was something, wait a minute, I think I missed a slide because it's a picture.
We probably need to keep moving, Demetrius, because we're just about at the top of the hour.
Okay. There's one more picture that was really important to show. Oh, but it's not coming up. Okay, well, the one thing that I want to leave with everyone is I think it's important to continue building relationships and partnerships. And I think that we at the Global Chamber do that. And I think that being involved and being visible is one of the ways that we do that. So thank you for all of the opportunities. Happy International Women's Day to everyone here.
Happy. Thank you very much. We are going to go a couple minutes over, and so hopefully you can all hang on for just a couple minutes. And RT Nimker is our next speaker, and I'd love to. There's a couple other ladies in the meeting that would be great to hear from, but let's at least hear from RT. She's the founder of the India Economic Development Association, and she's also the executive director for Global Chamber Goa. RT, you just had a big event. You do so much in trade. What would you like to share?
So good evening from India, Goa. I'm sorry I'm not able to on my camera because we have a little power failure out here. I'm in the interiors of Goa, which is called Moira, and it's my vision is a bit dark, but yes, I'll be communicating with you all. So it's a privilege and a happy Women's Day to all the amazing women. It has really been enlightening to hear from everybody. And it's really a privilege to be part of this distinguished panel of women leaders from across the world. My thanks to Doug and the Global Chamber community for bringing together such inspiring voices. Little introduction of mine. I'm Aarti Nimkar, founder and CEO of India Economic Development Association and Executive Director of Global Chamber Goa. So my work focuses on building international business bridges through trade, investment, and strategic collaborations. Today, I see a remarkable shift taking place because I've just finished India-UK Global Business Forum on 18th of February, which was so very well received and a very successful event. And on 16th, I would like to mention out here, 16th Feb, we launched Export Facilitation Center in Goa by Global Chamber Goa in collaboration with Laghu Udyog Bharati and World Trade Center Goa. So yeah, that is the update and the share I would like to have with everybody. But what I see a shift taking place out here, focused in perspective to women entrepreneurs in India especially, are increasingly becoming global entrepreneurs. Across India, many women-led businesses are moving beyond local markets into international trade through exports, especially in sectors like wellness, sustainable products, design, food processing, and specialized manufacturing. So, however, what they often need is a structured access to global network, export knowledge, and market entry pathways. Through IEDA, what we and the Global Chamber Network, of course, spanning 605 metros, we are working to create a platform, especially for women, that help entrepreneurs connect with international partners, distributors, and investors. And another important opportunity in cross-border collaboration, businesses today grow faster when they, from strategic partnership across countries, is what the women are looking for expanding their businesses. Women leaders are unique in strength to the ecosystem. We build trust, collaboration, and long-term value. So what we are experiencing out here in India is that the women entrepreneurs, especially, they are gaining access to global networks. They don't just grow businesses, they are building economic bridges between nations. So what we are looking at is more collaborations, more pathways, and more connects internationally. So yes, this is my take. There are many opportunities, of course, I would like to share, but I understand, Doug, that we have a little short of time. So thank you for inviting me on this panel and giving me the opportunity to share my short briefs. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, RT. Thanks for your progress. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask a couple women, Jackie Pohor and also Mona Lu Cherkawi, to also add their comments, or if either comments or reactions to what you've heard. Jackie, thank you for zooming in from Romania. Your trade leadership is extraordinary. Such detailed connectivity to the country of Romania and the region beyond. What's your perspectives of opportunities, if you don't mind sharing, and any reaction you have for today's conversation?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Doug. So lovely to be in such select company. Happy International Women's Day to all of you, including you, Doug. I'm sure you know the saying that every great man that is behind him is a great woman. So I'm sure it's your case. My perspective and only a few minutes of your time is not to ignore the ladies who are practically involved in cultural management. So let's not forget that they bring happiness to us and make us dream a little about what is possible beyond the trade and the investment. So I take this opportunity to invite you all to Romania, to Sibiu in June, when we are going to have the 33rd edition of the Sibiu International Theatre Festival, one of the greatest cultural events in Europe, definitely one of the greatest in Romania. And this is an event worth traveling to Romania for. So whether you are in Goa, in India, or in California, or wherever you are warmly invited to come to Sibiu in June and celebrate performance and amazing shows. Thank you very much. And again, happy Women's Day to you all.
Thank you very much. And I didn't see her. Elizabeth Glynn is next to you, at least now on my screen. And you both share a passion for trade and growing businesses. Elizabeth, I really enjoyed our conversation yesterday on we're creating a manufacturing initiative within Global Chamber. Elizabeth is the natural fit for that. Any reaction, Elizabeth, to what you're hearing here today, or anything you'd like to add? You run into manufacturers on maybe more than of anyone that I know, and I'm going to guess that nearly all of them are men, but probably certainly over 50% are men.
And I will share, for those of you that don't know, we are based in Southern California. And believe it or not, in the manufacturing sector, there are a lot of women. And in fact, there's now a group called Women in Manufacturing. And actually, I've known business owners who hire predominantly women because of their attention to detail and follow through and capabilities. So we are seeing more and more women involved in manufacturing, and they play a significant role. And today it's been fabulous what you all do. There's so much need for what we all bring to the table. So I commend you all. And I put in the chat, for those of you, especially overseas, Thunderbird has what's called 100 million learners initiative, and they will pay for, you can do online courses at no cost. So for like sub-Saharan Africa, that could be a really good first start for especially young entrepreneurs that are interested in growing. So thank you.
And our executive director in Nigeria, TT Abasogun, is actually partnered with Thunderbird, and she's rolling out 100 million learners across Nigeria as we speak. You know, it's just actually all of the material have been set up over the last 6 months, and it's ready to rumble. So it's a great program, and I totally agree. It's something everybody should know about. Mona,
Yes.
perhaps. Oh,
Yes.
did you
I'm
raise
here.
your hand, Demetris? Or are you clapping? That's probably
No, I'm clapping. I'm clapping.
okay. Great, Mona. If you don't mind, maybe
Yes.
wrapping us up, or maybe a last
Yes.
word from this illustrious group.
Well, I am so thrilled to be here. The conversation has been enriching, and I love this. And I feel that Doug, you are our father figure in this room full of women. So so thank you for that. The world needs clarity, courage, and character. And we are the ones who will bring it onto whatever platform we're operating on. I'm originally from Morocco. I've been living in Florida or Orlando for the last 35 years. There's so much that has been said that really touched me because I feel it. I can hear you. And I'm so passionate. And I put out the description of what I do. Besides whatever brings food or puts food on the table, I'm very passionate about women leadership, voice, confidence, and international business. I say often, I would like to clone me, but I don't need to clone me because there are so many fantastic women that can join me on my journey to take whatever I have here, to take it further and spread it in the world. My mission is to take whatever I have here and whatever I have here global. And I thank you so much, Doug, for this opportunity. Hopefully, I can connect with all of you here. And I've been to Colombia, beautiful country twice, and I'm planning to go back. And next time I go back there, I will be speaking. Thank you so much and happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day to everybody. Does anybody have any last comment they would like to make? So the last word will be Mona's. Thank you all for attending today. Sorry we went a little bit over, but I think we all recognize it was well worth doing.
Yes.
Thank you all. Have a great International Women's Day.
Bye.
Every day is Women's
Thank
Day.
you.
Let's enjoy.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All of
Thank
you and Doug.
you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you.